Coming up, Trinity students took home first place in a local marketing competition.
And where to find free plants and trees to celebrate Earth Day in the San Antonio area.
All this and more right now on Newswave. Good afternoon and welcome to Newswave's final episode of the semester. Today is Friday, April 19th, meaning it is officially fiesta season here in San Antonio. My name is Kayla Reese.
And I'm Cynthia Morales.
In 2021, Fetty, an Austin-based company, emerged in the ride-sharing market with its vibrant party buses tailored for large groups of partygoers. This mode of transportation can be chosen on demand or scheduled for a later time, fitting groups of 5 to 15 people in one vehicle. Fetty has swiftly gained traction across Texas and beyond, especially among college students. Matthew Iomi, Fetty's visionary CEO, began this project during his final year at Texas A&M University. His first-hand experience shuttling fellow students in his very own personal party bus inspired the creation of the company. Iomi states, quote, "I noticed a significant gap in the market in the lack of convenient and efficient ways for groups to travel together. This realization served as the catalyst for the birth of Fetty. Fetty will embark on a new chapter expanding to San Antonio, offering free rides to university clubs and organizations as a way for them to introduce themselves to a key demographic of young, social, and tech-savvy individuals." Cecilia Duno, a freshman at Trinity, explains to the Trinitonian that, quote, "When I heard Fetty was coming to San Antonio, I was so excited. I used to take Fettys with my friends in other cities and could not wait to take them when it comes to San Antonio. Fetty's mission is to become the brand of our generation, facilitating memorable experiences and fostering connections for groups. So next time you're planning a night out for a big group, consider the Fetty for you and your friends."
Trinity's American Marketing Association, or AMA, team took home first place at the Campaign in a Day competition. According to the Trinitonian, the team consisted of seniors Marissa DeRange, Anna McMormack, with junior Catherine DeWeller. The competition was held on Saturday, April 2nd, at Texas A&M University, San Antonio, hosting 5 different schools, all trying to create the best marketing campaign for the nonprofit Meals on Wheels. The competition was a valuable experience for members of the AMA team, as they took important lessons for their future careers. Reflecting on the experience, Anna McCormack says, quote, "My biggest takeaway was being able to work with and learn from a real marketing firm when I'm marketing a plan. I learned a lot about the process. We started with brainstorming ideas and then organizing the best ideas into plans of action. Finally, we incorporated the creative and visual bids at the end. We here at Newswave would like to congratulate Trinity's AMA on their first place prize and wish them luck as they continue to excel post-graduation."
Last week, Trinity students saw a new site on campus near the tower designated to highlight the consequences of gun violence in the San Antonio area. Presented by 2 progressives in the nonprofit Texas Impact Group, multicolored t-shirts were hung in the area between the tower and Northrop Hall, with writing meant to recognize the victims of gun violence throughout the state of Texas. Students participated in the demonstration by writing the name, age, and date of death on the shirts to represent the victims, including those who died by suicide. The display was a powerful reminder of gun violence in Texas and in Bexar County, where in particular, there had been over 2,700 gun-related fatalities in the county between 2018 and 2023.
San Antonio's Parks and Recreation Department is gearing up for Earth Day celebrations with a tree and plant giveaway this weekend. Scheduled for Saturday, April 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Woodlawn Lake Park, the city will be giving away shade and ornamental trees. The Earth Day 2024 events at Woodlawn Park is part of Fiesta and will offer family activities, dance and music performances, fishing, fitness, and involvement from over 70 community partners. Fiesta San Antonio happens every April, and it's known for its food, music, parades, and fun for San Antonio. It started in 1891 to honor Alamo heroes and has then become a city tradition.
Still up ahead, we've got an inside look on how Houston has worked to house its homeless population.
And an inside look at the concern of low voter registration rate for young people around the state of Texas.
All this after a short message from Trinity University's student body president on how to stay sane during exam season.
Midterm season is finally here. and to many students, it can be a pretty stressful time. From juggling exams and papers to just everyday tasks to deal with, it is important to be prepared for anything and everything. I asked some Tigers around campus to see if they had any tips and tricks for students during this time.
I would say during midterm season, you should definitely take time for yourself, take care of yourself during midterms because a lot of people forget to do that. So study, but also take care of yourself.
For midterms, I would honestly just try my best to form study groups and start studying as early as possible. Personally, I like separating the content and breaking it down based on whatever you learned and just study little by little over a certain period of time so you're not cramming in the end. And yeah.
Definitely for midterms, I would say don't procrastinate. It's important to take a brain break and just walk around, get some coffee, um, and make sure to email your professors if you have any question. And I would say also attend office hours.
Remember, it is important to study efficiently and to also take care of yourself during the stressful season. From all of us at Newswave and TigerTV, good luck on your midterms and stay positive. This is Danny Wynn, Newswave 14, reporting.
Welcome back to Newswave. According to the Texas Tribune, San Antonio is set to receive a $17.8 million in federal aid for migrant support. But U.S. Representative Henry Kawar warns that this assistance might attract more migrants to the city. Kawar, who initiated the grant program in 2014, emphasized that the funds were never intended to facilitate migrant travel to other cities. He expressed concerns that using taxpayer dollars for transportation could incentivize migration, urging the city to seek private sponsorships instead. I really wish that the city would find sponsors and let them sponsors pay for them or family members and not use any of the taxpayers' dollars on travel. To me, if you pay for transportation, it becomes a magnet. Despite the urgent need for continued aid, uncertainties in federal fundings have strained resources, promoting cutbacks. Kawar negotiated for the inclusion of funding against resistance from Republicans' colleagues. Quote, "When I started this program, I did not intend this to be used for travel and pay for airplanes to get people into the interior." Kawar said, "Nevertheless, I know that the mayor and the Catholic charities say that if they don't pay for some of those flights, migrants will be sleeping in the streets of San Antonio."
Up now, Newswave's chief meteorologist Luke Morton will fill you in on what the weather will be like over the weekend fiesta festivities. Take it away, Luke.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our last show of the spring semester. My name is Luke Morton, and let's get on with your weather forecast. This past week has overall been pretty nice, although it has been a bit warm and sticky, an unfortunate foreshadow of what lies ahead this summer. However, we are looking to get a break from that warmth soon. Saturday looks to be cloudy and a bit rainy, and Saturday night looks to be a bit stormy with a cool front blowing through. However, after the front blows through, we are looking at extremely nice weather for Sunday, with highs in the low 70s and lows in the 50s under mostly sunny skies. Pretty much picture perfect. The beginning of next week also looks to be pretty nice, with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the 60s. The clouds and rain look to return towards the end of the week, and the temperatures will be on the rise with highs in the mid-80s as April wraps up. This weekend is the first weekend of Fiesta, an annual San Antonio tradition. There are going to be a lot of festivities happening around the city over the next week, all of which are extremely fun and really embrace San Antonio's rich history and culture. I know the end of the semester is always very busy with schoolwork, but I would highly recommend going to a couple of events. We are all so lucky to go to college in such a great city, and I think going to Fiesta is such a great end of semester treat. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you all have a great weekend, a fun fiesta, and a wonderful summer.
Young people make up a growing slice of the voting population, but according to U.S. Census Bureau data, a majority of them are not registered to vote. This data shows that out of the 409,000 18-year-olds in Texas, only 39.6% were registered to vote. In the wake of this report, lawmakers are investigating the cause of this lack in voter registration, and all eyes have fallen to schools. A 1983 law required high schoolers to distribute voter registration forms to students about to turn 18, but many schools do not comply with this law and are not penalized for not doing so. Therefore, eligible students may lack the understanding of how to register to vote, leading to less and less people registering. Additionally, many Texas public schools do not mandate teaching about civic engagement or voter registration in their classes, though government classes are typically required to graduate. Senior in high school Ashton Sanchez stated that, quote, "It's a daunting task to learn what is a primary, what is a general election, and who are all the candidates running. We need to find a way to integrate that into the classroom." Students have begun to take matters into their own hands, creating an internship at Rice University where students can organize registration drives at their high schools. Getting voter registration education into schools is an important aspect of this drive to increase young voters, as many young people simply don't vote because they don't understand how to. As Maggie Stern, who works at the nonprofit Children's Defense Fund Texas, states, quote, "It's not enough just to tell people voting is important."
Houston traditionally had one of the largest homeless population in the country, but an initiative called Housing First has been tackling this issue head-on. CBSNews.com explains that, quote, "Housing First was a concept that spent money on getting the unhoused into their own apartment, subsidizing their rent, and then providing the services needed for their lives. The initiative has lowered the rates of homelessness in the greater Houston area by 63%, with more than 30,000 people being housed through the program. Kelly Young, member of Houston Coalition for the Homeless, states that Housing First, quote, "is a model that the rest of the nation should look at and follow. Homelessness is an issue we want to fix. Yet if an individual has no permanent place to live, we cannot expect them to tackle big issues that prevent them from getting on their feet. In order for this project to work, agencies have joined forces under a program called The Way Home, ran by Houston Coalition for Homeless, which finds homes and provides financial assistance to cover rent. Houston reminds us that success is committing to homes, not just managing homelessness. As Houston continues to take steps towards ending homelessness, other cities nationwide have looked to adopt a similar approach." Still up ahead, we've got more stories ranging from the former President hush money trial in New York and the controversy at USC over a valedictorian's commencement speech. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short message.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Welcome back to Newswave. If you recently have had the feeling that you're forgetting something, you might want to listen closely. This past Monday was one of America's least favorite days of the year, Tax Day. That's right, the 15th was the last day for most citizens to file their 2023 tax returns. The Internal Revenue Service expected more than 128.7 million forms to be filed by the deadline. The IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel expected a flurry of submissions close to the deadline, saying, quote, "Millions of taxpayers across the nation will be working on their tax returns during the final hours, and people should remember that they have many ways to get last-minute help. Extensions were offered, but procrastinators shouldn't get their hopes up." The deadline for the Form 4868, which grants extra time, passed on April 15th. All of us here at Newswave would like to offer our sympathies to anyone who missed their deadline, and on behalf of the IRS, would like to say, see you next year.
Yep, we are sorry about that. This Monday, former President Donald Trump began his criminal trial in New York, in which has been a year-long investigation concerning an alleged affair in 2006. Prosecutors allege that Trump took part in a hush money scheme where he paid $130,000 to an adult film star, Stormy Daniels, right before the 2016 presidential election to conceal reimbursements to then lawyer. At his rearrangement in April of 2023, Trump pleaded not guilty to all accounts. Former lawyer Michael Cohen is also at the center of this case, with prosecutors alleging that it was Cohen behind the schemes of facilitating this hush money and paying the adult film star Daniels by wiring the money to her lawyer through a shell company called Essential Consultants, LLC, which was established just days before the wire transfer. These reimbursements totaled a staggering $420,000, allowing Cohan to recoup tax losses and walk away with a bonus. As this case unfolds, we here at Newswave will continue to fill you in on further details.
The United States and President Joe Biden have told Israel they will not participate in a counterstrike against Iran. According to CNN, President Biden spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he believes that Israel's defense of Iran's initial attack should be considered a victory, adding that a response from Israel would be unnecessary. The U.S. also claims there was no, quote, significant damage within Israel itself, furthering the point that a counterstrike should not occur. While the U.S. has said they will not assist in an Israeli response, this does not mean Israel will decide not to launch a counterattack anyway. While the U.S. cannot force Israel to do anything, they remain focused on convincing Israel to take a diplomatic approach. According to CNN, one U.S. official said, quote, the president was very clear that we're going to help defend Israel, and he made very clear to the last prime minister last night that we have to think carefully and strategically about the risk of escalation. While it remains unclear what Israel is going to do moving forward, Newswave will keep you updated with the latest developments.
As the academic year comes to an end, the controversy over free speech on college campuses has found a new battleground in Los Angeles. The University of Southern California released a decision on Monday, barring their student valedictorian from delivering a speech at their upcoming spring commencement ceremony. Asana Tabassum, a biomedical engineering major, was selected as USC's valedictorian from over 200 qualified candidates for her contributions to the campus community, essay submission, and a 3.98 grade point average. Despite her academic excellence, the University Office of Provost released a statement on April 15th, announcing that Tabassum would not be given the opportunity to speak in order to maintain, quote, the safety of our campus and students. Tabassum offers a different perspective on why she was denied the chance to speak. She asserts that the decision was a response to the campaign of anti-Muslim racism directed at silencing her uncompromising belief in human rights. Meanwhile, the U.S. campus group Trojans for Israel applauded the decision, alleging that Tabassum, quote, openly traffics in anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist rhetoric. These claims arise from a link that Tabassum has in her Instagram bio to the website freepalestine.card.go. As debate unfolds around the campus and around the country regarding the decision to cancel her speech, Tabassum expressed shock in a recent statement saying, quote, I am surprised that my own university, my home for 4 years, has abandoned me.
Up ahead, we've got coverage on the continued war effort in Ukraine, our weekly sports update, along with an inside look at Trinity's baseball team, and some optimistic climate news from South America. Stick around, Newsway's final segment of the semester is coming up after this short message.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to Newswave. On Saturday, April 13th, Ukraine's military chief, Oleksandr Syrsky, warned the battleship situation has significantly worsened in recent days due to warmer weather, which allows Russian forces to freshly push along the 620-mile-long front line. General Syrsky states that the assaults have been ramping up ever since Vladimir Putin's re-election that silenced many anti-war candidates and independent voters. The three main locations in Russia have been actively attacking near the cities of Lyman, Bakhmut, and Pokrovsk. As the war has progressed, both Ukraine and Russia have started targeting each other's energy infrastructures. Ukraine's defenders are alarmed by the volume and accuracy of the recent attacks, saying the Kremlin forces now have better intelligence and fresh tactics to annihilate Ukraine's electrical grid, which has the potential to bring the Ukraine's economy grinding to a halt.
Right now, Newswave sports editor Caleb Reed has your final sport update of the year. Please take it away, Caleb.
Hello everyone and welcome back to sports. My name is Caleb Reed and we have a lot to cover today, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, in Trinity sports, a massive congratulations to Trinity Tiger softball for wrapping up their home slate of games with an impressive 20-8 record to end the regular season in San Antonio. The team sunk the Pirates of Southwestern University in a 3-game sweep on senior weekend, taking their 4th sweep of the conference schedule. Trinity had a relatively low offensive output in the series, only scoring 10 runs across the 3 games, but it was enough to secure key wins as they won 3-1, 6-3, and then 1-0. Trinity now goes on the road where they are going to face the always dangerous Texas Lutheran Bulldogs, who are ranked number 14 in the nation and are just 1 game ahead of the Tigers in the conference. Trinity baseball had their senior weekend coming up this weekend with a big series against the University of Dallas. Trinity won last series 2-1, taking Game 2 in a walk-off home run and then taking down TLU in a high-scoring 9-6 game number 3. The team sits with a national ranking so far atop the conference and will look to do some damage as we hit the final part of the conference schedule. Up now, Newswave journalist Cole Isaacson interviewed some of the seniors on the baseball team to discuss exactly what preparation for the conference tournament looks like.
As the school year winds down, baseball season is heating up, and Trinity has won 13 of their last 14 games as they continue into conference play.
Yeah, so obviously I would say we've done pretty well overall throughout the season. It's just really important that we just continue to be as consistent as we can moving forward.
As the Tigers continue their quest for back-to-back SCAC titles, I got to talk to 5 of their seniors: Jack Peterson, Ty Preston, Christian Holloway, Colt Harris, and Jack Baker.
Yeah, coming in, getting our senior season of high school canceled and school just getting cut short is kind of weird. So coming in, we didn't really know what to expect. But through COVID, it's kind of tough, but it really allowed us to kind of bond with each other. We spent a lot of time just hanging out with the guys, just solely the baseball guys. So we're really able to get to know each other and form that connection that we kind of still have today. And I think it's benefited us a lot throughout these 4 years.
Yeah, and we also didn't really get to know the other baseball guys. I mean, there was 2 times where we drove over to the seniors' house and hung out with them for a little bit, but for the most part, it was just our class and our group hanging out, and I think that's why we're so tight-knit and why we have such good chemistry.
This senior class is connected by the common experience of having their high school senior season canceled due to COVID. Now they're making up for lost time.
I'd say having that senior season taken away from us helps us cherish this one a lot more, getting to be seniors, the old guys mentoring the younger guys coming in, and then just being leaders and being able to take it all in. Some of us, this is the last time we'll get to be on a field. This is the last time we'll get to be on a field together. So we really just know how special it is.
The word special can describe this year, but also other memories for this senior class.
My favorite memory has to be winning at Birmingham Southern to make it to the World Series, and then just having literally the night, probably the best night of my life after that. Just having a great time with the guys, and just all the memories associated with that trip were just incredible.
That team went on to the College World Series under the leadership of head coach Tim Scannell, who these players have learned a thing or two from.
Yeah, so Coach Scannell is obviously a great guy, a legend in D3 baseball. I would say the most important takeaway I've gotten from him over these past 4 years is just how to compete, what it means to be a winner. And I just feel like that's super important, not only in baseball, but in just any factor of life. And he does a really good job of just instilling that in us.
That spirit of competition has led to high expectations, and these seniors hope their last game doesn't come for a while.
Yeah, first goal is definitely winning that SCAC tournament. But I remember our freshman year talking with a couple of the guys. We looked around and saw how much talent that our class had. And we were like, whenever we're seniors, we're going to win it all. So I think this is our year. I mean, sophomore year, we kind of got a taste of that going to the World Series. But this is our year to finally prove it all to everybody and hopefully come home with a national championship.
Trinity will continue their season this weekend against the University of Dallas. You can watch that game on Tiger Network, as well as all future home games for Trinity Baseball.
Welcome back. Sticking with bat-related sports, the MLB continues to heat up with both Texas teams on opposite ends of the AL West standings so far in the early start to the season. The Houston Astros are currently at the bottom of the standings, sitting at a poor 16-14 record, after a very slow start to the year. The team has struggled due to poor play and injuries to start the year, but their poor defense has also left a lot to be desired. Meanwhile, on the opposite end, the defending champion Texas Rangers have had their hot start slightly cool off, starting the season at 11-9. The bullpen that was almost bulletproof in last year's postseason has proven to be a relative weakness, with Jose Leclerc showing some signs of shakiness, while Cody Bradford as a starter has been electric in his opening outings. With the return of spring, players and fans are reunited in their favorite man to hate, Angel Hernandez. Hernandez, a longtime umpire in the MLB, has come under fire for some poor calls that he made so far this season, particularly during the Rangers-Astros series, including 3 straight balls that were called strikeouts in a bases-loaded situation. We can only hope that things will be better moving forward. Meanwhile, in the WNBA draft, which was earlier this week, no surprises came about as Caitlin Clark was picked first overall to go to the Indiana Fever. The draft shattered previous viewership numbers, with over 2 million viewers on average throughout the broadcast and over 3 million at the peak. In addition to Clark, other big-name players such as Cameron Brink, Kamala Cardozo, and Angel Reese were all taken in the first round, setting up a big future for the league moving forward. Finally, this is going to be a massive weekend for motorsports across the world, ranging from rallycross to endurance, as the racing world really starts to kick off. Both IndyCar and IMSA will be taken to the streets of Long Beach, California this weekend, doubling up with some fantastic action on some difficult streets that have been known to produce some great racing. Additionally, the World Endurance Championship will be traveling to Italy this weekend for their 6-hour race around the Imola circuit as teams prepare for the run-up for the big 24 hours of Le Mans in June. Additionally, the World Rallycross Championship will take place in Croatia this weekend, continuing exciting off-road action as they race around the world. And finally, this weekend marks one of the most chaotic on the schedule for NASCAR as they head to the famed Talladega Superspeedway, which is the longest track on the calendar and also one of the fastest in the world for the annual Geico 500. That is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to have a wonderful weekend and best of luck with the end of the semester.
South America saw a loss of about 2,000 square kilometers of mature tropical rainforest in 2023, equivalent to the size of Wales or 3 times Delaware. This loss contributes to the continent's 30% decrease in the primary forest cover since 2001. However, there is a glimmer of hope as this represents a 23% reduction from the previous year, with Brazil and Colombia leading the efforts, coinciding with pro-environment presidents taking office. Using data from Global Forest Watch, it's evident that Brazil experienced the largest decrease in deforestation, thanks in part to President Lula's pledge to end deforestation by 2030 and bolstering law enforcement. Colombia also saw a significant drop, partially due to President Petro's policies and actions taken by non-state actors like guerrilla group EMC. External factors such as contributes from wealthy countries and regulations like the EU's deforestation regulations are also playing a role. However, challenges persist, such as ongoing strikes affecting enforcement efforts in Brazil and surging deforestations in Bolivia. Leaders like Lula and Petro are influencing their counterparts, evident in the Amazonian nation's declaration to end deforestation. Data for 2024 shows further reductions, signaling potential progress in protecting the Amazon.
Sadly, that's all the time we have for this semester.
We hope y'all had a chance to get out and celebrate Fiesta, and we wish everyone the best of luck with their finals.
Wishing everyone a good end of the year and a relaxing summer. I'm Kayla Reese.
And I'm Cynthia Morales. We'll see you next fall, or I'll see you in the spring since I'm going abroad, but it was nice. Bye.